Right, hello there. Welcome back, Cheltenham, day 3. I hope you had some luck yesterday, or I hope you didn't lose too much. Anyway, we'll crack on straight away, and we'll start with the first race, the Turners Novice Chase over 2.5 mile, Grade 1 event. Not many runners in a race, but it should be a smashing duel between two top novices, Bob Ollinger and Galopin Deschamps. From two top yards, it should be a very exciting race. I've went with Bob Ollinger. I think over this distance, hopefully I'm expecting it to have a bit more tour. And a bit too quick for Galopin Deschamps over this distance. Galopin Deschamps was ended for the distance, the other race over 3 mile, but he's decided to go into this, the lesser distance of 2.5 mile. So it would stay really well, and I'm hoping that Bob Ollinger's just got a little bit more speed in it. It's not a great jumper, Bob Ollinger, but it's a safe jumper. The distance is ideal for it. It is an experience, but so is the other one, Galopin Deschamps. They've only had a couple of runs apiece. Galopin Deschamps is a bit different type of horse in that it's a spectacular jumper. Really stands off its jumps. Very impressive. As I've said, it's back in distance a little bit from its last run. It's about 1.5 furlongs less. And we'll just see how they get on. As I say, it was entered for the Brown Advisory over 3 mile. And my money's on Bob Ollinger over this shorter distance. So that's the first race. Right, the next race, the Betemps Handicap Hurdle over 3 mile. This is a real staying hurdle race for horses what have to have a lot of stamina, especially at Cheltenham with that finish over 3 miles. Some of the factors I've looked at in this race are the age range. 8 or younger is ideal. They normally want a rating of about 138 to 148. Unexposed steers do well. Horses what's been run over a shorter distance and they stepped up to 3 mile. And obviously exposed at the distance. Headgear, as far as blinkers, noseband, hoods and also tongue ties, seem to be common over this distance with the winners. The Leopardstown qualifier is supplied 5 of the last 6 winners, so that's a good race to bear in mind. JP McManus does really well in the race. And Sayed Burley in the race has won it twice previously, although it's not my fancy for this particular race. The horse I've went with is Alaphilippe. Each way it's about 7 to 1. Sky bet you'll get 8 places in other firms as opposed to the standard 4 places. And I think Alaphilippe at the price will run a good race. Another one which I think's got a chance at a decent price each way is Born Patriot. I think you'll get a good run for your money with that one, and that's about 16 to 1 somewhere in that area. Right, the third race, the Ryanair Chase, 2.5 mile intermediate race, Grade 2. There's a real strong favourite in the race, Alloa. Ireland have had 5 of the last 6 winners. 4 of those have been trained by Willie Mullins. French bred middle distance horses excel in the race. Taking all that into account, Alloa the favourite, it's about 6 to 4 on, something in that range. It's won the race very impressively last year. It's had 2 runs this season. Done really well. Loves his 2.5 mile trip. Going to take all the beating. I wouldn't be telling anybody to back against a low short price. If somebody wants a bit of fun, a bit of interest, and they want to back one the bigger price each way, I would look at the likes of Melon. Does well at Cheltenham. It's getting on a little bit now, but it does well at Cheltenham. It's quite a big price. And also Janadil, it's a decent price. I think there's two people who don't want to be putting money on the odds on favourite, but who want to back something each way. That's Melon and Janadil. Race 4, the Paddy Power Steers Hurdle, over 3 mile. Again, this is 3 mile over hurdles. You want to, in this race, you want to have a proven steer. I wouldn't be chancing a one stepping up in distance with these older horses. I think I would be wanting a proven steer. And there's a number in the race for a proven steers. It's a very competitive race. The horse I've backed, and I backed Anti-Post a long time ago, is Flooring Porter. It's a 3-to-1 favourite. It's a strange horse in that sometimes at the start it doesn't want to always start. I hope there's none of them shenanigans today with it. I hope it just gets off to a level start. It has done that in the past where it's been left at the start because it's so eager to get the front. It's a front runner. If it's allowed to get to the front and have an uncontested lead, I think it'll take a bit beating. If horses challenge it early on and wrestle it for the lead, it'll make life a bit more difficult for it. I wouldn't fancy it as much. That's Flooring Porter, last year's winner. Some of the horses in the race I'll just flick through. You've got Champ. Steers very well, good record over hurdles. They did try to chase him. Unfortunately got injured when it was running the chases, and they've decided to leave chasing alone for this season. Possibly it'll go chasing again next season, but it's still a good hurdle. It's got a good record over hurdles, reverting back to hurdles. It steers well. It's come up this hill before, so I wouldn't discount it. Anybody wanting to back that one. You've got Time Hill, another proven 3 mile steer over hurdles. It's had a lay off since its last run. It did run an island and ran a poor race, but the ground wasn't right. It goes well fresh. It'll be fresher today. It's sure to run another good race. Classical Dream, that would have been favourite for this race. It hadn't blotted the copybook last time with a poorer run. There might have been excuses for that run, and if it was to revert back to what it's previously done, as I've said, it would have been favourite. I notice there's money coming for it. It's shortening in the betting. In a very competitive race, it's another with a chance. Royal Kahala, unexposed at the trip. It's expected to steer this trip well. It's only had the odd run round this distance. The ground is a bit quick for it, and that puts me off. So if it wasn't for the ground being quick and it wanting softer ground, it would have been another one where I had a decent chance as well. Paisley Park, I did have a couple of pound on this at big prices because it's previously won the race. It did come back to form this year. It was left at the start, but in a 3 mile race it made the ground up and come through to win by a couple of lengths still. That was a good performance. It is 10-year-old now. The age is against it. That would put me off a bit. But as I say, I've had a couple of pound on at big prices. It shortened up the betting after its good run last time. But it is a previous winner. Somebody who wanted a big price one, I wouldn't be put off. I wouldn't put them off with it. But my money's on Flooring Porter. I hope it gets an uncontested lead, gets away in front, no shenanigans at the start, and I'm hoping it to more or less leads throughout. The next race, the 5th race, the Paddy Power Plate. In this race, let's have a look. The favourite, Celebs, the Allen. It's won its last 3. I think its age is against it a little bit in this race, age 10, but it is in very good form. The Glancing Queen, that was going to run in a mare's race, which I thought it had a big chance in, but they've decided to run in this race. I think this race might be a little bit easier than the race it was going to run in, actually. So my money's on that one. It's round about 5 to 1. I'll be backing that each way, and I'll be disappointed if that doesn't run a big race. The Glancing Queen. The only defeat it's had this season was in a Grade 1 novice chase run against Home Press, who's done nothing but improve all season. So being runner-up, although it was beaten about 10 length, that was still a good performance by the Glancing Queen. Others with a chance, Imperial Alcazar is in good form, won a Grade 2 last time. Another one I think's got a decent chance at about 8-10 to 1, Grand Parody. It's worth an interest if anybody wants an each way bet. It's a young horse improving. This is first run in the handicap, so there could be more to come for it. More improvement to come. Gordon Elliott's runner. I think it'll run a decent race as well. Sky Bet plays 7 places. Other firms will give enhanced places and things like that. So I think I've covered that race. Race 5. Race 6. Mares Novice Hurdle. This is a relatively new race. It's only been going about 7 years. French imports again have a good record in the race. The French horses mature early, and possibly that's why they do well in this race. Willie Mullins has had 5 out of the last 7 winners, so he does particularly well. He targets this race with a horse he likes a lot of. The British, 0 out of 7 for British trained horses. So I think we need to be looking for an Irish winner of this. Dino Blue won well last time, but that was on heavy ground. Will it perform as well on this faster ground? Its favourite at the moment, and that last race it run was a maiden race, but it's trained by Willie Mullins, and you must expect a big run from it, although it's running on different ground to last time. The horse I prefer is Brandy Love. Brandy Love was second in a decent race last time. It stays, and that was over 1.25 miles. It'll stay this 2 mile well, which is useful on an uphill finish. The other thing I like about it is, last time round when it come second, it pulled or veered to the left badly last time, and it did that on a regular basis, losing lengths in the process. Running on at Cheltenham this time on a left hand going track would be a lot better for it. It's an improving horse. It's trained by Mullins again. I'm expecting that to beat the favourite, Dino Blue, and that's my selection in the race. Dino Blue. Dino Love to beat Dino Blue. That was Brandy Love to beat Dino Blue. I'm getting me blues and me brandies muddled up there. I think I've had a couple of brandies. Right, so that's that one. If somebody wanted to back someone at a bigger price, Party Central, it should run into a place. So that's the 6th race, the mare's race. The last race, the Kim Muir. This race is for amateur riders. It's over 3.25 miles. It's a Grade 2. It's useful to have a top amateur on. Jamie Codd has done particularly well in this race. Good record. Novice chasers do well. And Gordon Elliott's got a good record in the race. taking that all into consideration, Gordon Elliott's done a bit shouting. I shouldn't say shouting, but he's talked the favourite up, Frontal Assault, in previous Cheltenham previews. He thinks a lot of this horse, and he's targeted this race for it. What he's done well with in the past. It stayed on well last time over 2 mile 5 furlong. It's a young improving horse. It stepped up in distance. It's sure to get the distance the way Gordon Elliott's talking about it. And I think it'll run a big race. That's Frontal Assault. Now the only thing I haven't done is given me nap for the third day. So I'll just flick through and I'll tell you which ones me nap of the third day. Right, I think me nap of third day will be Frontal Assault, Gordon Elliott's horse in the last race. And I think somebody who wanted a next best fancy run on the third day, I'll be saying Brandy Love would be my next best bet. Right, I hope you have some luck and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.